Potter is a company that is fast growing. So think at least double digits. But last year, the output out of the factory was about 21-22%. Quite significant growth. We are on a lean journey. We're not yet a shop that produces to order. In the meantime, until we are further along on this journey, we have to produce to inventory. And part of the challenge was the combination of having produced the stock and growing so fast is that our inventory, our bin situation, racks that contain bins that contains inventory, was not optimal. So the team came up with an opportunity to improve our racking and inventory in the St. Louis factory. I'm very grateful that the actual team that worked on this project actually visited the plant. I mean, that in itself tells you enough, right? The team came, took a tour, and got a good lay of the land, was able to get a very decent start on working on optimizing the flow and optimizing the bin locations in the factory. As a result, so when it was all said and done, we saw a 19% productivity improvement by basically doing a proper ABC analysis in three-dimensional layout of where appropriate bins need to be and following a demand pattern that we had previously demonstrated, 19% improvement in picking, which is obviously enormous. On top of all of that, we run our factories at Potter with SQDCI order. So first safety, followed by quality, followed by delivery, followed by cost, and followed by inventory. Optimizing the bin space and optimizing the racking situation in our factory also helps you in preventing injuries. So a lot of the smaller metrics that weren't specifically targeted for this project benefit from a significantly improved flow. They were a blast to work with. Their rigor, their data-driven approach stood out the most. Sometimes it's easy to get carried away in assumptions that you have or cutting corners when it comes to the analysis. The students were extremely professional, extremely easy to work with, and like I said, very data-driven. The work ethic and the rigor clearly stand out as points of specific joy. The results show that the approach that the students demonstrated worked. So if you're fast growing and you're on a lean journey, then it's pretty hard to outpace the lean efforts to make sure that you use the same circumstances, the same resources to fuel the growth. So when we can optimize 19% time, that's dramatic. You ultimately buy yourself time and you postpone capital allocation decisions. Every dollar that we have that we invest, there's multiple ways we can do it. We can put it back in the business, we can return it to the shareholder, we can buy companies, we can buy a new building or lease more space. Obviously that's the least desirable because the return on that additional dollar is not as profound as with the other avenues. So in order for us to postpone large capital allocation decisions, because we're 19% more productive, is significant. I feel better taking on quite complex and substantial supply chain problems, knowing that we have a center of expertise that is willing and able to help us out making the proper decisions over time. We have great, phenomenal talent in the company, but it makes me feel better that we have a very decent safety net that we can always go to when we require help.